Hey bro, what's going on? Just gonna do a quick little video here for you, catch up and touch base again. So we're just about a week out from surgery here. Be next Wednesday. Um, so yeah, it'd be the fifth time for that spot in my back. Kind of concerning just because of the amount of scar tissue that's there. I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem with the healing process. If it's just going to be more of the same as far as getting the scar tissue to heal up nicely and let the tissue knit together. If we're going to have more of the wound seepage that we had last time, or if that's going to be a problem as far as getting scar tissue wrapped around the nerve, which seems to be a possibility for what happened and why I have so much lingering pain in my legs. But yeah, that ought to be fun. I don't know if I told you when you were here. They think that part of the paralysis that I'm going through with my legs is tied to the fact that I'm not taking my Motrin anymore. So that they told me for surgery you can't take Motrin, I don't know, a week before or some shit like that. But because of the fact I'm on the cancellation list, I said, okay, well, let's be safe about this. I don't want to risk, bleeding out on the table. So I'll stop taking it ahead of time. And I stopped taking it now probably about 2 weeks, maybe a little more. I'm like 3, 4 weeks ago. So ever since then, I've been having that paralysis in my legs, and it comes on kind of sporadically. So when I went to see my primary care last week or so, I mentioned it and I said, listen, this seems to be an issue. I'll have times when I push myself a little bit to try and do small tasks, and then my legs disappeared. The right one goes first, and then the left one kind of creeps up right behind it. And I was kind of curious if they had any kind of rationale or explanation for why that's happening. And the only answer I ever really got was that there's a good possibility that because I have so many issues going on back there, that it's just swelling up in and around the spine, and it's taking those nerves and just pressing them up against the bones or whatever else is back there. And that the Motrin was the only thing that was keeping the swelling down to prevent that from happening. And since I'm not on the Motrin, the swelling just builds up. The biggest question I have with that is, okay, let's say the surgery is a resounding success in that it takes away all the instability and in turn the motion in the spine. What does it do for the underlying issue of the swelling? Is the swelling caused by the motion of the bones? Is the swelling caused because I have so many other things going on back there that it just swells up like crazy? I don't really have a good answer to that, and I don't think they do either. So I asked them, well, obviously it's not good to be on Motrin, 800 milligrams forever. Like you shouldn't be doing that. It's going to be tough on your liver. And they're like, well, yeah, it's rough on your GI system. Well, no shit, Sherlock, but that's not the point. So I don't know what their plan of action is to address that going forward. Whether it's some form of steroid, whether it's injection or whatever, try and keep the swelling out of the nerves there, or if we're lucky it won't be an issue and then I'll have no more swelling to kind of pop up in there. But at this point, it's not looking good for me as far as a long-term solution. They really don't seem to have a plan yet. So yeah, but it is uniquely terrifying when your legs all out disappear. It's kind of there's really no way to describe it. It's just terrifying. The first time it happened, I remember just laying there in bed, and it take me 20, 25 minutes to get up the steps and into the bed. And that's with Kelly helping me up, every step. She has to basically come behind me and manually lift my feet onto the steps, and then I pull and drag myself up the rest of the way. But I remember laying there and just looking at my feet for a good 2 hours. Like, okay, wiggle your toes. Just move. And it's funny because you feel like they're moving. Like your leg feels like the muscles are tightening and everything's moving, but nothing's happening. So it's really kind of odd when you're looking at your feet and you're saying, okay, well, my toe just moved. No, it didn't. Or, okay, I moved my foot. My calf's tight. It feels like it's tight. And you have that whole mental sensation that you've done something, but nothing's happening. And then like, it's just really weird when you're trying to go through that. And then the fact that you can't feel them is even more weird because you're sitting there and you're trying to reconcile your head around the fact that they're right there, but they're completely out of my control. So the first time it happened, it was about 2.5 hours before they started to respond. And it was just a little wiggle in my left foot. The toes just kind of spasmed a little bit. And it was like, oh, thank God, they're going to come back. And every time it happens, I have that momentary panic of, are they going to come back? Or is this just going to be the way it is? So I have no idea what to do from that point of view. I mean, do I continue on pushing myself? Do I continue just kind of say, you know what, it's not a good idea, and basically live in a chair, at least until surgery? I don't think that's the right answer either. I think that I have to try and find that balance for what can it take. And in days like today, it's raining outside, and everyone thinks that that's the worst day for me. And it's a little worse. I get a little more sore and a little more stiff and tender, but it's not that it ramps the pain up anymore. The pain's kind of become a relative thing, and sitting here right now, it's not horrible. I can deal with the pain, as it were. I have my heating pad on, and it has the massaging features in it, which is nice. It helps, but there's times when I turn it off and my legs feel like it's still going. So it'll hit like a certain spot in my thigh, and it just feels like it's spasming constantly. So I don't know if that's the heating pad or if that's just the nerves firing off again, that they're not happy. So it's a little weird to have to go through that. But yeah, it's tough. But other than that, I mean, it's been pretty quiet this last weekend. Had a decent Mother's Day. It was nice and quiet. Kelly seemed to enjoy the fact that it was a quiet day. Gavin had his karate tournament this last weekend. He took first in sparring, second in forms, and second in weapons out of 50 kids at the dojo. So that was nice. He did really well at the sparring. And even the forms and weapons, Kelly was saying even the sensei there was kind of like, wow, he got second. You're sure? That they felt that he should have gotten first, or at least tied for first. But that being said, I mean, that happens. So, but he was happy. He got 3 more trophies. So he was doing good there. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty quiet around here. I'll keep you posted if anything changes, and kind of go from there. Hopefully they'll call and set up a surgery date for, well, actually they can't, because now we're into the crunch time where I wouldn't have time to take all the medications they need me to do and do all of the pre-op stuff that I'd have to do on my end. So it's going to be next week. So I'll keep you posted as to that, and touch base till then. All right. Talk to you later, brother. Love you.